The next project that I've been working on is an iOS app that is basically this infinitely scrolling page where you can add text anywhere on the entire page you want. Before I go into why I'm creating this, let me go ahead and show you what functionality exists. So right now you can go ahead and click anywhere you want and you can just add any text. So I can just do hello world here, for instance. And then let's scroll down a bunch more and let's add some text here. So hello world 2. And then you can go ahead and add, let me just add some more stuff here. 1, 2, 3. And then I've added a lot of the basic features, such as you can bold the text. Let me do this right. Bold, italic, underline, strike through it. You can make it mono. Add below. So this just adds a line below the text, and then you can also delete these, so I can go ahead and delete them. And I just realized you might not be able to see my taps on the screen, but I'm using this bar on the bottom here where I'm scrolling to do all these things. You can also bookmark, which I'll show in just a bit. You can add checkboxes, so let me go ahead and add checkboxes to all of these. And then you can even check those boxes if you want. And then you can also remove them by just simply hitting checkbox on the line again. You can also make a divider, and the reason I added this functionality is when you have a page so large, it's a lot quicker to see a divider than the other text. It's a clear distinguisher, so it allows you to navigate more easily. The next functionality that I'm going to show is the bookmarking. So if I'm scrolled down here a bit and I want to, let's say, bookmark this too, so I can just go ahead, let me just rename this to something else. Bookmark example. And then I can click bookmark. And you'll notice that on the top, right next to this search icon, we have this new button that's created. And the whole point of this is, like, let's say I'm here and I want to quickly go to that section of this page. I can just go ahead and click that, and you can see that it jumps straight to it. Again, I can show you. So if I go to the top, click bookmark example, and boom, I'm right where I had set the bookmark to. Other than this bookmark functionality, I'm also adding one more thing that I think will be very useful. It's this ability to group different blocks, and each one of these lines is considered a block. And to show what the grouping is, I can go ahead and create a group. Let's say I'm going to create a group of hello world, and let's just group. So what I do is I drag my finger across the screen to all three of those. And this is against only the left side. So if you see those arrows pointing to the right, I have to drag my finger across that, and it creates a line as I drag down. So let me just go ahead and show this in the bottom. So I can start from the top, I can drag down, and if I let go, it makes a group. And this group, for example, I can go ahead and edit it. I can go ahead and call it Hello World Group, for instance. So Hello World. And then I can save it. So that's what the group would be called. And the benefit of this is that I want to eventually add the functionality that you can go ahead and click on a group and that entire group will show up on one page. So what I mean by that is that groups can be defined, like the Hello World group can be defined with multiple blocks in it throughout this entire page. For instance, I can have Hello World up here, and then I can scroll down a bit and I can add text. I can make this called Hello World 2, and you can see there's an easy way to select that. So now I have Hello World here, and I also have Hello World here. And when I click on, I think this search functionality, it doesn't work yet, but when I click on Hello World and I go back here, you can see kind of I've done some of the setup work. But all that should show up now are the blocks that are present inside of the Hello World group. So in this case, all three of these blocks would show up, and everything that's inside of here would show up too. And then you almost have these sub pages within this really ginormous one page. Let me know what your thoughts on all these different functionalities are. The reason I'm building this single page infinitely scrolling application is because in my experience, when I've used Notes or any of these other note-taking apps on the phone, I am not really good at organizing my information. I'm not really good at having different files for each topic and then within each file adding the information. I kind of just go into one main file and I just keep adding to it. I start from the top. I'll have a to-do list in there. I'll have a random password that I have to remember or a username that I have to remember. I'll have a list of groceries that I have to buy, something that I just thought about, an idea, and I just keep adding on to that one individual file. And then eventually the file gets too long and it's a pain to scroll all the way to the bottom. So I'll just go ahead and delete that file and start a new one, or I'll just leave that file and start a new one. Since I keep doing this, I started realizing that it might be better to just have an application where I have more functionality. For instance, I really wanted to have this bookmarking ability to quickly move around that one page. I also wanted this ability to group. It's very common for me to have these single page files, and then I keep trying to keep everything together. So I'll start from the top. I'll have a grocery list, some passwords I need to remember, or some keys that I need to remember. And then after that, I'll let's say I have an idea that I jotted down, and then I want to continue that grocery list. I normally just tend to go up and I press enter, and I keep adding on to it. But by having this ability to group, and I think grocery list might not be the best example, but by adding this ability to group, I can go ahead and group the groceries list on the top and then add another grocery list at the bottom. And by one click of a button, I can just review all the groceries lists I have. I think a better example of this might be if I'm working out at the gym and I'm tracking my sets and reps, I go ahead and have a gym group, and every time I'm adding that information in, I can keep adding it to the gym group. And then one day, if I want to see my progress, I go ahead and click on that group and I can see everything that belongs to that group and all the different days that I took it. Those are the three main projects that I'm currently working on. I think the photo organizing project is basically done, but the task board and this iOS app that I'm working on now, I hope you enjoyed seeing the project that I'm working on. I'll make sure to add more videos and continue giving updates, but let me know if you have any thoughts on the things that I've worked on, and any ideas even that I should implement. I'd love to hear them down in the comment section below. Thanks. See y'all next time.